Good morning. My objective today is simply to share a little bit of enlightenment regarding Common Core. I noticed that a lot of people have questions about it, a lot of people making statements about it. There are a lot of myths about what it is about, Common Core is about, but I wanted to share with you some of the facts behind Common Core. As a teacher who is 3 months outside of the classroom after 6 years of teaching, and also a former participant, I guess you could call myself, under the Common Core evaluation, I've had the opportunity to learn more and more about what Common Core involves. There is a lot of information behind Common Core as it relates to schools, parents, and students overall, but I will start first by explaining how Common Core relates to students. Common Core is a new academic plan laid out that basically says the academic requirement for students in the classroom is going to increase. So basically what a student has learned in first, second, or third grade in the past will not be the same things that they're learning now. We are striving, or the educational system is striving to increase the level of learning in the classroom. The goal is to prepare students to be what is called career ready. One of the issues that have been addressed is that it does not seem that students presently have been put in a predicament or educated in a manner that will have them career ready once they leave. So one goal is to ensure that students are career ready, and that's one of the key terms of this. Common Core is the plan that was put in place in order to ensure that students K through 12 are career ready. It has resulted in an educational shift in academics for every student from K through 12. Even kindergarten students have received new demands all the way up to 12th grade students. And these demands include everything from changes in testing to requiring ACT testing and all these different kinds of things now. Each state sets up their own Common Core standards. While this is a national program and some states have opted out, there's even an area in this state who has opted out. It is set up as a nationwide plan, but each state sets up its individual Common Core plan according to the needs of that state. So Louisiana has its own Common Core Common Core setup. In order to determine what objectives should be met in the classroom, they have gone from using what used to be called GLEs to what's called now Common Core State Standards. These are the things that teachers are supposed to use to help get the instruction where it needs to be. However, there's supposed to be more flexibility with how teachers choose to get that method across. In some cases, it's good, but in some cases, it's not so good, because the problem now is that teachers have not been trained on understanding Common Core, how to use Common Core strategies or instruments within the classroom, or what things will work best to help students. So some people are asking, what exactly does the word Common Core mean? The word Common Core basically says that at the base of education, there is one commonality, one thing that connects all of them. And from my own studies, what I've learned is that basically it is ELA. One of the things that my school was doing before we left was developing a basic writing paragraph strategy that every subject across the board could use. So if a social studies teacher gave out an essay question, that social studies teacher would know what a formula for writing an essay would look like. And so this would be used to judge. There was a point in time where everyone was saying, oh, math and science are heavily focused upon. Now, people are understanding once again that in order for critical thinking, which is the base of the core, to really be effective, students have to understand the basis of your reading and writing fundamentals. And these have been tied into every subject in the classroom. So, in particular, in a high school classroom, I think that this year it's supposed to change from students are now supposed to have 75% nonfiction and only 25% fiction material in the classroom, meaning using newspapers, biographies, autobiographies, anything that's a realistic material in order to perform in the classroom. Moving away from using standardized material as much and working more on having students to think deeper, write things down and things like that. Honestly, it doesn't seem much different from what we've seen years ago. To me, in a certain extent, it seems like we're almost getting back to those basics. Now, why is there so much opposition to Common Core is the question. The problem with the state of Louisiana's Common Core is that it was implemented without fair preparation for parents and especially teachers. As an educator last year, I can recall that the school year had already started before they came in and told us that we would enter what was called SLT information into a system called HCIS. And we were initially told that this information would not be used against us. But then at the end of the year, you've had several cases come about where teachers have now been rated ineffectively. The problem with being rated ineffective is that if a teacher has an ineffective rating for more than 1 year, they will be terminated. Now, when you get teachers who have been teaching 25, 30 years, 10, 15 years, 7, 8 years, who have had great track records along the way, and all of a sudden they're rated ineffective because of a certain formula, then you enter other problems. So now let's discuss a little bit about the teacher side of Common Core. On the teacher side of Common Core, teachers are graded on two things: classroom evaluations and the meeting of the SLTs. If you teach elementary grades or geometry in high school, you are also graded on what is called a VAM score, which is the value added model, which is a part of Race to the Top. There are quite a few things that exist with Common Core in addition to lack of preparation or education for teachers, system flaws, questions that still cannot be answered in regards to teachers, last minute implementation of a system that has a weak structure is a big problem. So overall, Common Core can work well for our students because it's going to level the educational playing field across the country. The goal is for all students to have the opportunity to get the same learning experience and to increase the demand of education. Yes, it's going to require a little bit more homework for kids at times, but it depends a lot more work for teachers too. We have got to move from talking about learning to making learning an interactive experience and throwing the learning experience in the control of the students while the teacher works as the facilitator in the classroom. The problem that we face here in our state is making sure that the system is fair for teachers, just for teachers, and that teachers are accurately prepared so that our students can have the best learning experience. For more information about Common Core, please visit the Louisiana Department of Education. There's so much more to this than what I can explain to you. I can answer base questions, but to honestly give you information that you really need little by little, I would have to do about 4 or 5 segments, maybe more, on understanding Common Core. I'm still learning more and more about it. The great thing about my new job is that it allows me the time to study it, study litigation. We are constantly working, and state legislators are working to get some modifications to Common Core, but this is where the support of parents is needed. There are some people who said, down with Common Core, you want to pull out. Let me explain the biggest problem with that, and I've stated this before. Every state has to have a plan, and school district has to have a plan that is career ready. That is the new term all across the country. That means that kids are prepared to enter the workforce. If we pull out of Common Core, Louisiana does not currently offer any other plan for what this state can do. In addition, our state will lose billions of dollars in public education funding. We've already lost so much money with all of the cuts that we've had, with all the issues we're facing regarding our great governor. Our state has lost enough money. We are a poor state, one of the poorest states in the union. We cannot afford to pull out of Common Core. We cannot afford to pull out of it financially, and we cannot afford to pull out of it educationally. It is better, in my opinion, to work with a weak system and fix it than to have no system at all. After teaching 6 years, I must say that I saw at least 4 different types of systems come in and out of the school. This is one of the new, more fixable ones that I've seen, and so it should be the goal of parents, or I hope it's the goal of parents, to support teachers as they work to get these issues fixed so that we can get fair help for teachers and get this situation laid out correctly so our students can get the learning experience that they deserve. But once again, our students will not get that experience until the kinks are ironed out with Common Core. Please visit the Louisiana Department of Education website so that you are able to learn more information about Common Core. And any additional questions that you have, please feel free to inbox me or even post the questions on my wall, and I will answer as much for you as I possibly can. I hope you all have a great day, and please remember that our children are the foundation of our future. Thanks.